Hi, let's talk. So, I haven't watched the documentary of, Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model, but I've watched enough clips on TikTok to know what happened and what's been going on. Now, back when I was a little young fucker, um, I used to watch America's Next Top Model like religiously with my mom, and this was definitely a time where I was just like, I don't know. It was just a fun show. I think it was like one of the only like reality shows I really watched at the time, and it was different from like the Kardashians. I wanted to say like the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian, or like Housewives or whatever. I've watched a little bit of like of those shows, but like they weren't my flavor of like reality show. But America's Top Model was like a show I would watch, and I'd be rooting for the girls and shit like that. I do not really remember how many different cycles I watched. I only really remember one of them, and I remember that was the season that Danielle won. Now, in the clips and stuff of the documentary, I don't know if that's the same Danielle, but I believe it is her. In which I remember like being so young and like rooting for that girl. Like I loved when she won the whole like show or whole season. It was like I was like so happy for her. But I don't. It might be the same girl. I don't know. But I just remember her being a little dark skinned. I don't know, darker complexion than the one that was on the documentary. Now, am I going to go watch the documentary? Maybe. I don't know. But I definitely do feel like I'm enough informed to know what the fuck went down on that fucking thing. And plus, I was an enjoyer of the fucking show. Was I a kid back then when I watched it? Absolutely. But I can think back on times of like what the fuck was going on that show. Plus, I think it was a little bit of a I don't know what age range I was watching it at, but I feel like I was generally young when it came out. Like I remember watching certain seasons, but like should I have been watching certain things go down? Probably not, but fuck it. But I want to touch on the topics that have come from the documentary and like people are the talking points of that shit. First one being, the viral fucking meme of Tyra yelling at that girl, Tiffany. I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. You should know the fucking meme. I know nowadays of it, like, I've never, what's the fucking meme of it, fucking, I've never choked on balls like this, like, whatever bullshit it is, but, from what I picked up from it, because I remember I watched some clips to refresh myself on it, because I remember seeing that actual scene when I was younger, and I don't know, like, me rewatching it now, I'm just like, Tyra talked out of the side of her fucking neck with that one. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because I watched the succession, I watched certain clips of it, like I'm gonna watch it like in a row, and how I think it went down, how I saw it go down was, Tiffany, I think was going home that week and whatnot, and it was the where she passes out the paper, and the other girl got it, and Tiffany was like, oh well, kind of like, oh well, for the most part, and me watching that now, I was like, Tiffany just seems like she's just being a good sport about what the fuck is going down, And I think Tiffany was everywhere in the fucking right. But the shit I'm hearing about it now, like, there was, like, lawyers brought on set, and, the shit that Tyra said, it wasn't like that cute motivational speech that we got the clippings of or the edits of, it wasn't that. It was more like fucking her talking about her laying on a mattress for her baby and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? Where the fuck? Where do you have the right to cock and talk like that to someone? But like I was saying, in the scene, like, it came to me, it came across that, like, Tiffany was being a little bit like I hope that's her name. I think that's her name. But she was kind of being a good sport about it for the most part. Again, she was kind of consoling the other girls, like on this, like, don't be sad. I don't want to see y'all crying or anything. Like she was like, no, why are you frowning? Like she was kind of like being a good sport about it. But how Tyra internalized it was that she was like thought of this as a fucking joke. Like you just gave up your whole chance for everything or anything to change in your fucking life. And I'm just like, who are you to fucking give me a lecture on this? And, the girl was like, I'm just tired of crying over things I can't control. And that there was something she couldn't fucking control. Like, it quite literally was like, you try your best in certain situations, and if you can't hit the mark, you can't cry over spilt milk. And that's what she was kind of like declaring, and Kyra was like, you threw this all away, blah 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 blah, and they both started getting animated and shit like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Tyra, to speak out of your side of your neck like that, you'd be like, fuck you, bitch, you don't know me. And that's exactly what the situation was. Like, you don't fucking know me to fucking tell me like this. See, maybe I am a little bit angry, maybe I am a little bit like, hurt. And she was like, I am married to my girl. Bitch, fuck you. Who the fuck are you? So for Tyra in that situation, that was unforgivable. And fucking, I know of, like, I've heard the different shit about Tyra, how she's, I'm seeing her now. That bitch is inhuman. I don't know what the fuck I don't know where she's from, but it's like, she's like, like she's inhuman. I don't know how to explain it. And then getting to the more serious topic of the, like, documentary and whatnot, they're all serious, but, like, like, the whole Shandy situation, that, how dare you? How can a group of people sit in a room and watch an essay? Like, how the fuck do you watch someone get essayed and just you sit fine with yourself? Like, you knew that she was beyond her better judgment, and you crafted into this storyline of she cheated on her boyfriend intentionally. And when you hear her explain it, she can't recall what happened. She blacked out. She cannot remember. She was too drunk. She had no food and only booze in her stomach. How the fuck were you okay with, like, orchestrating any of this shit and narrating that, making that fucking storyline? And that's the one thing I was like, the edits, if they, like, I realize, like, if they choose a specific edit for you, you are that edit until you get dismissed or you win. You are that edit. So if you're the angry girl, or you're the, ditzy bumble blonde, you're the fucking that. Or if you're the fat girl, you're the fucking fat girl. And they find a way to make you look fat. Like that fucking Kenya, how they edited her to fucking make her look like she was eating multiple bagels, but she only actually ate one. It was just 3 separate shots of her eating the same bagel. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But, like, going back to Shandy, is like, that was serious. How the fuck how's a group of people at that? It's probably all men who are like, yeah, fuck yeah. But, like, and then watch her go on the phone with her boyfriend and him call her a fucking whore and bitch and shit like that. How do you live with yourself at the end of the night? Knowing that you crafted this into a cheating storyline when it was actually an essay storyline, or essay real life, whatever the fuck, that it's just fucked, But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch the documentary, but I feel like I've seen enough information to be like, Tyra, you're fucking weird, and they should have gotten penalized a long ass time ago. Just because it was 2000 whatever the fuck doesn't mean it was all right. Doesn't mean that was acceptable. It was bullshit, and you know it. Fucking crazy.